The king attended an Advent service celebrating the strength and courage of faith communities at the Catholic Church of the Immaculate Conception this morning. King Charles was all smiles as he left an Advent service in London today, celebrating the strength and courage of faith communities. There, he met religious leaders, Christian refugees, and locals affected by homelessness. He waved as he left the Catholic Church of the Immaculate Conception and said that he is praying for Syria after the fall of dictator Bashar al-Assad's brutal regime to rebel forces. It marks the first time the 76-year-old monarch has been pictured since his brother Prince Andrew withdrew from royal family events this Christmas to avoid being a distraction. The Duke of York will instead spend the festivities at home in Windsor. It comes after it emerged the prince had links to an alleged Chinese spy, named yesterday as Yang Tungbo. Prince Andrew's office said nothing sensitive had ever been discussed with Mr. Yang, who it is alleged was part of an operation to get close to figures of influence. The king was on fine form as he attended the service in central London this morning, which was called to specifically reflect on the 10th anniversary of the invasion of Mosul and the Nineveh. It also served to highlight the efforts of aid to the Church in need, working to help displaced Christians around the world. Caroline Hall, director of the charity, told the congregation how the world watched in horror as the ancient city of Mosul fell to ISIS or Daesh forces a decade ago. She added, "They attacked villages in the Nineveh plain, sending over 100,000 Christians and other religious minorities fleeing for their lives and creating refugee camps filled to the brim." After the half-hour service, the king met specially selected groups from Aid to the Church in Need. In a side chapel, the king shared a warm embrace with Sister Annie Demirjian, from the Syrian Catholic Church, who described a desperate situation in her homeland after the fall of the regime. She said afterwards, "It is desperate, but we are praying for a better future. It was an honor to meet His Majesty once again. He is the most humble man I have met in my life. He remembered my name, having met him a few years ago when I was in the UK, and he asked me about the situation in my country. He said he was praying for us, for all the people who have been displaced and find themselves battling against the odds. We are praying and we are hoping for a better future, and we appreciate your king's support." Sister Demirjian said Christians would now flock back to the country after the fall of the regime, but shortages of food, shelter and other medical resources were an issue.